don't trade for Matt Stafford to think about, what it's going to be like 3, 4, 5 years down the line. So I just like it in terms of, hey, if you know that this is where you're at and it looks like they have a legitimate chance to be the best team in the NFL, I don't even know if you could really say that edge rushing is a particular hole for them. I thought that they've been able to intimate some kind of edge pass rush pretty well with what they have in the stable. But to say like that you just want to lean all the way into making a strength a super strength, I respect that. And I think that, it makes sense again, given their timeline.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the way to go. And the whole point is to win a championship. I think we always our brains get a little fried here when we start talking about, dynasties and stuff like that. And we always compare people to the Patriots. Like, dude, like you're not going to win 6 Super Bowls in 18 years or however much it was, 20 years. So like the goal is to win 1. Like the goal is, and we kind of said that I said that a couple weeks ago when Orgeron got fired. The goal is to win 1 championship. Mm-hmm. Then you kind of go from there. Like the whole goal is to win 1, and that's what the Rams are doing. And if they can get it done because they've traded everything else, every other future pick and future asset, then I'm super on board with this. So yeah, I think this is a good move for them. He obviously makes them better. Right. There's no doubt. Even though, like you said, it's not like edge rushing has been a hole for them, but this guy is a Hall of Famer.
Right. Yeah,
so
you
go
not?
And why not? Right. Like you're playing for this year and maybe next year, and then you're gonna have to blow it up anyways. And then like whatever. Like everyone else has to blow it up, but you have at least given yourself a chance, dude. The Dolphins are gonna have to blow it up after this year.
Exactly.
And they're not even close to winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, like I've been trying to bat away all of the criticism on social media for like the last couple of hours, and that's my thing. Like, people have brought up, teams like the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Patriots, and I'm like, hey guys, I want you to understand what you're bringing up when you mention that. Like, you're talking about having the greatest combination of head coach and quarterback ever, or with the Steelers and Ravens having 2 teams that basically never trade picks because they have the best draft and development strategy that exists in the NFL. That's rare. Like, we cannot – I understand, like, sometimes greatness can warp everybody's idea of what a good process is, but good process sometimes is saying, hey, the easiest way to get an opportunity to win a championship is to go get the greatest players. And whatever mechanism it is that's required to get the greatest players is probably the best idea for these teams. And the second thing, and you were kind of hinting at it, is that the idea of a window doesn't really exist outside of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and New England. Like, those are the only 3 teams we can say year over year has had an open window. And like I detailed, like that, they have rare mechanisms to be able to retain, acquire, and develop really good players in a way that's not super cost prohibitive. And we're seeing it with the Patriots now. Like, now it's time. They have to pivot. At some point, the bill's going to come due. If you have an opportunity to go get that 1 title, because you're only ever guaranteed, if you're contending in that season, that is the only season that you can guarantee yourself contention in. You have to go all in if the opportunity exists, because it's just too hard to get back to this point. There are so many teams that are middling. Like, eventually, we're going to have this conversation about the Cleveland Browns. And if they don't go all in when they have opportunities to do so, and you end up with an expensive middling roster, well, then you did all this for nothing, right? So I'm never not going to advocate for the idea of leaning into trying to go get as many wins and get as close to a title as you possibly can. Because the NFL is built to reward you for that. There are ways to make the cap mechanisms work around trying to chase a title, even if it becomes painful down the road. You deal with that pain when you get there, and chances are, once that pain comes around, you're probably getting fired anyways. And if you know you're getting hired to get fired, go try to win a championship before you get fired.
I think this is something that happens already in other sports. Maybe you can talk on the NBA, but I can tell you that the NHL, once it's like NHL trade deadlines, it's kind of a little softer in recent years, but there was like 15-year period when I was growing up where you would go and give up a first-round pick for a player that was going to give you 15 regular season games to end the season and then a playoff push. Like, right. I feel like this is so normal in other leagues to give up these picks for this one chance of winning a Super Bowl. So I think what the Rams are doing is perfect. I mean, the NHL trade deadline has been crazy for years because of this exact thing, where it's like people are giving up these these high picks for rental players just for dude. Sometimes you get these guys for 30 games, something like that. It happened to Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky got traded to the Blues for 25 games or whatever it was. So, yeah, like this happens in other sports. Again, I can only speak for hockey, but I'm glad to see it's happening at football slowly because it makes everything more entertaining. And who doesn't want to see Von Miller on a playoff team this year?
Next to Aaron Donald. Like, can we all just put everything else aside for a second and just appreciate the fact that for at least the next 3 months, we get to see Aaron Donald and Von Miller lined up on the same defensive line. You would not see that outside of a Pro Bowl in any other context. I want to be able to enjoy that. I enjoy good players, and I want to see good players play together. It's as simple as that.